Okay, so today we are going to talk about the big buzz in the Lego world, a brand new Star Wars set. Yep, I'm talking about the Death Star, the one that was just revealed and will be releasing on October 4th of this year. Now, a full disclaimer. I am a Star Wars fan, but not a massive one. I have watched all the films, most of the TV series, played a couple of games, and I own quite a few Lego Star Wars sets too. But I wouldn't call myself a hardcore humongous fan. And since I don't own the previous Death Star, I've actually been saving up for this one ever since I heard the rumors about it dropping. So let me break down everything I am feeling after watching the reveal, tons of review videos, and trust me, I have been staring at the details for hours. So let's get the basics. This is an 18 plus set with 9,023 pieces, 38 minifigures, and it retails for 1,000 US dollars. That's about 4,299 ringgit here in Malaysia, which is like half a month's salary. At first, I was really hyped by the promo shots, but then I saw the set displayed against a wall, and man, this thing is huge. It's heavy and it needs a massive shelf. And guess what? I don't even have that big of a shelf. Maybe I could buy one and stick it in the living room, but still, it's already a space problem even before buying the set. But I'm willing to do so if I really love the set. So, let's get started with the minifigures section. My favorite part of any Lego set? Minifigures. I love collecting them, mixing them into my Lego city, and just making up random stories. So naturally, I jumped straight to the minifigure lineup and boom, 38 figures. At first, I was wowed, but then the reality hit and it hit hard. First up, the Imperial crew member, same as the one in the Imperial Star Destroyer, no upgrades. So, yeah, I don't care. Then we have got six Stormtroopers, again the same as past sets, and honestly, in $1,000 Death Star, if they had given us something fresh, sure. But as it is, no, don't care about them either. Next, two Imperial Gunners, exact same as before, don't care. This same design is in the Imperial Star Destroyer as well. Next up in the lineup, we have two Imperial Navy troopers, same uniforms as Imperial Star Destroyer, same deal, don't care. Next up in the lineup, we have Chewbacca. It's literally the most common Chewbacca design, and I'm kind of tired of it. It's been in 19 sets, and I personally own four of them already, even though I'm not a big Star Wars fan. Don't care. Next up in the lineup, we have C3PO. Same as the polybag and trash compactor version, I already own it. And then I read this designer interview where they basically said they don't give a dual molded legs because it might set a new standard for smaller sets. And I was like, seriously, if any set should have outstanding parts, it's this set with $1,000. Anyway, next we have R2D2, same story, don't care. Next in the lineup, we have Darth Vader, most iconic villain in Star Wars, and they just tossed in the most common version, which you can grab for $3 or $4 on a secondary market. Really don't care. Next up, we have Emperor Palpatine. Same thing as the polybag version. Don't really care. And a quick disclaimer here, I don't count tiny facial expression changes as exclusive. For me, same torso, same legs, same accessories is equal to same minifigure. So, pushing that aside with the disclaimer, let's move ahead with the remaining minifigs. We have Luke Skywalker in Stormtrooper disguise, same as the Thrash Compactor diorama. Don't really care. Luke Skywalker Jedi, same as Throne Room diorama. Again, don't care. Han Solo Stormtrooper, again, Thrash Compactor version. Don't care. You see the trend here, right? By the time I hit 19 figures, all 19 went into my don't care pile. So at 20, we have got Grand Moff Tarkin, exact same torso, same hair, same plain legs as the 75159 Death Star, only change his face. That's it. Finally, something I can care about as I don't own the previous set, but honestly, if you already own the previous version, this is not an exclusive. At 21, we have Imperial crew member. Except for the face and hair, the torso and legs,
it's the same as the crew member from Imperial Star Destroyer. And the hairpiece is straight from Dedra Miro's minifigure in the 75399 Rebel U-Wing Starfighter. So yeah, technically exclusive, but just a repurposed mashup. Easy skip for me, don't really care so much. At number 22, we have Princess Leia. Hair, face, legs identical to the trash compactor diorama. They slapped a couple of extra creases on her torso and added some buckles, and suddenly it's an exclusive. I am really happy with my diorama Leia, so don't really care. At 23, Han Solo, again exclusive, but he's the same guy from the UCS Death Star and Mos Eisley Cantina, just with a tiny shirt crease change. Seriously, if that counts as an exclusive, then everything counts. Don't care. At 24, we have Admiral Yularen. Sure, exclusive. But his torso is the same as the polybag version. Legs are plain, and the white swept back hairpiece costs like $1 online. His old face looks just as good as to me. On to the don't care list once again. At 25, we have director Krennic. I have seen reviewers rave about him, but for me, subtle torso tweaks, nothing else. The old one is equally good. So, once again, don't care. 26 and 27, I have Imperial Royal Guards, exclusive in name only. Tiny torso tweaks, few extra lines, everything else is the same. Should I care? Absolutely not. At number 28, we have Imperial Shuttle Pilot, exclusive but barely. Old version works fine for me, so don't care about this too. At 29, Imperial Navy Officer. Now, this one, not bad. Torso only ever appeared in UCS Death Star, plus, we get Dedra Miro's hairpiece in a new color. So, this is the only second minifig on my not bad list. Okay, so let's go to number 30. We have Luke Skywalker, exclusive, new torso and printed legs, not a dual molded leg. Looks good, but the older variant is close and appears in 8 other sets, and I already own one. So I don't need this new one. So again, don't care. 31. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Also an exclusive with this set with torso and leg upgrades. Looks fine, but the old version is good enough as well. Another addition to my don't care list. So, a quick tally. Out of 31 minifigures so far, 29 land in my don't care pile, and I actually like two, and that's mostly because I don't own the previous Death Star. Now, before we hit the last 7 new characters, I want to mention something from the Brickset interview. The designer said this gave us an opportunity to upgrade several of the classic characters like Luke, Han, and Obi-Wan. It feels like they appear frequently, but they weren't in production when we started. So we had the chance for fresh designs. And I am sitting here thinking, really, Leia, Han, Luke weren't in production, and this is all you could come up with in the name of fresh designs, tiny creases, and belt tweaks? I don't even know what to say. Seriously, I'm disappointed. Okay, all right. Moving into the brand new character category. First up, we have RA7 Protocol Droid, who is called as 5D6 RA7. He is the aide of Admiral Motti, destroyed during the Death Star events. Hardcore fans will love this one. Me, I like it, but I don't definitely need it. I can make do with the regular $5 version of regular RA7 from past sets. Next in the lineup, we have General Tage with his brand new uniform torso, a nice addition to the Star Wars lineup, and I would like to have one. And one thing I want to highlight here is the dual molded legs. It should have been the standard throughout the set wherever possible, but Lego has its reasons for not including, and we will get to that in a while. Next up in the lineup, we have Admiral Motti with new Star Wars Admiral torso and plain legs. Good character to have in anyone's Star Wars lineup, but nothing to wow you in the minifigure per se. Next up, we have R3T6 Droid. Its first ever Lego appearance, which is cool and it looks cute with its red prints. I am Personally, I'm not a collect every droid kind of a fan, so I don't mind not having it. But for hardcore fans, this is a good addition. Next, we have Galen Erso. Finally, something different. Green outfit, a bit of arm printing, and I actually want this one in my collection. But then I read the designer interview once again. They said, we decided printing Galen's arm symbol was more important than molded boots. And I'm like, really? You cut basic dual molded legs in the most expensive Lego set ever so that you could add a tiny arm logo on Gallon Erso? Do they even hear themselves? Lego is charging $1,000 hyping this set as the ultimate Death Star, and they cheap out on basic legs. All I can do is just sigh, nothing more. Next up, at 37, we have Imperial Dignitary minifigure, a completely unexpected entry into the Star Wars lineup, but a welcome one. I like the minifigure, I don't hate it. A new torso, new face, and a new headgear. But one thing I want to note here is the torso design should have continued onto the legs for accuracy, and we should have got printed legs with lines and everything. We are at minifigure 37 now, and still not a single wow factor. And for $1,000 set, Lego should have gone all out giving us at least few awesome minifigures. But none. Lastly, at number 38, we have another surprise entry, the Hot Tub Stormtrooper. Fun, quirky edition, and I like the humor, but honestly, one isn't enough. I will have to make a few more myself with bare chest torsos and some red beach shorts and Stormtrooper helmets. And that's the minifigure lineup wrapped. So here is the breakdown: 20 non exclusive minifigures, 1 repurposed exclusive, 8 exclusives with only minor tweaks, 2 exclusives that are okay, and 7 brand new characters which mostly have plain legs and nothing wonderful, awesome that's going on. That's 38 minifigures total, and I'd honestly want only about 5 of them, maybe 7 max. And let's talk the printing. Besides Erso and Darth Vader with minor arm prints, nobody else has arm printing, at least not that I'm aware of. Legs, forget it. Only one dual molded leg for the hot tub trooper, a few new prints, the rest plain or reused. So now we are at GWP. If you buy in first week, you get the TIE Fighter, 236 pieces with 2 stormtroopers and 1 TIE pilot. Should anyone care about this GWP? Definitely not. So let's talk actual value. The Ultimate Death Star comes with 9,023 pieces, 38 minifigures, 50 plus stickers, yes, and retails for 1000 US dollars. Excluding the minifigure value, that's about 11 cents per piece. Low for a Star Wars set these days, ironically, but that's what it is. Add minifigures value even conservatively at 300 and your price per piece drops to about 8 cents. But for me personally, I already own the sets Trash Compactor, Emperor's Throne Room, Imperial Star Destroyer, Death Star Cannon, Death Star Escape, and Death Star Troopers, which all gave me plenty of the characters included in this new Death Star, except the 7 new characters. I don't have the shelf space, and I don't see a strong reason to drop $1,000 right away on this one. And with over 50 stickers, no thanks. Stickers on my older display sets have already crumbled, and I don't want that happening here. According to me, $1,000 should have a load of printed pieces and as less stickers as possible. Zero is ideal, but hey, Lego will never do that, will they? Yeah. So, for others who are interested, here are some records and stats. This is the most expensive retail Lego set ever. Most minifigures in one set at 38, loaded with play features and Easter eggs, but also overloaded with stickers. It's not a spear, just a slice of the Death Star. A full spear at this scale would need at least 10,000 more parts or even more, and nobody would want that. But still, this isn't really playable, too fragile, too time consuming to rebuild. and it's meant for display only, and that too in one way. And while there are play features, the smaller dioramas honestly have better executed, better accessorized features. So, yes, this set is definitely not for me. I'd rather put that $1,000 towards other Lego sets. If you want it, go for it. But my 2 cents, wait for the discounts. There is nothing here that screams must have beyond the hype, and that GWP is just meh. Thanks for listening to me rant, and you have a great weekend, and I'll build some new sets. Take care. See you in the next one. And yes, please do subscribe. That would mean a lot. Bye.